the ball on the tee. We're set for football. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium.
Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Down the numbers. There he goes.
Inside the 20.
Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 73 yards.
And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Looking deep here for Mooney. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Stephon Gilmore.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Steps away to his left. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
Now that was an inspirational scramble for a 1st down, all the while absorbing a big-time hit. Well, we know the guys in the huddle appreciate what he's doing. But how about the guys in the press box, the luxury boxes, the guy who signs his checks, and especially the main guy with the headset on the sideline? I'm not so sure they like that so much. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
83 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Prescott.
Into the hands of Hendershot.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now Prescott going to change the play. 2nd down, Pollard again.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Tony Pollard with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Cowboys have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Aubrey good with a PAT.
And it's now 14-0.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's 2nd and 10. Fields.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Play action. It's Fields.
And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Now a 2nd and 2. Mooney, the motion man right. Fields now to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And Mooney going to have a Bears first down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He'll get that one to Taylor, complete.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 4. Herbert powering up the middle.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
That one a first down pickup of 8. A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15.
Here's Fields. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
Touchdown!
Cole Kmet, 29 yards. And the Bears have got it back to within a score.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7.
After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and, you know, they told us all week that this was the plan, and this is what they wanted to execute. But did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Pollard will take it up the gut.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Jake Ferguson,
42 yards.
and the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Aubrey now for the point after.
It's good, and it is now 21-7. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
A handoff for Herbert.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields.
He's got a man. It's his fullback.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Okay, so the personal foul penalty. And those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
Fields on 1st down. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down.
Back to throw. Fields.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Justin Fields.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Bears are back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14.
After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Running right, it's Pollard. Now he's loose again. Touchdown, Cowboys! Tony Pollard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the lead now up to 14. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. To throw is Fields.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Fields throwing again. Taylor there to bring it in on the crossing route. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half. And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
Santos' kick is up and through. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. But gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Try the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They were already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Fields. Quick slant, caught by Moore. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. Off play action, Fields. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Draw play, a give to Herbert. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
He'll buy some time right. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
This now a 3rd and 4. Here's a give to Herbert. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. It's a pickup of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Here we go. 58, where's that? Extend.
They'll run and set up the reverse, but he'll keep it himself. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On play action, Fields. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Herbert. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Call it a gain of 14 for the 2nd play in a row. Moore, the man in motion. Foreman is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
Santos with the extra point, and this is now a 1-point game. After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 190 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Pollard again. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Pollard going to try the right side.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On play action, Prescott
able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
They'll run with Pollard.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Pollard again. Yeah, this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. Pollard is in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Aubrey now for the PAT.
And with that, the lead is up to 8. And boy, figure this one out. Leading here in the 4th, and now they're going to try an onside kick. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Rolling to his right.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
And that's a much-needed 1st down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. DJ Moore with an acrobatic catch.
And the Bears have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Open man. There's Hendershot. Touchdown. Peyton Hendershot. 28 yards. And the Cowboys get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Aubrey now for the point after. And that makes it a 9-point game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Fields. He'll get this one to the Golden Domer, St. Brown. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Here comes 2nd down. From the gun, here's Fields. St. Brown on the catch. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
Back to throw, Fields. And again, back to Komet. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line.
Don't jump. Ready? Green 19, jump. Easy.
Now Fields. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Here's 2nd down. Fields going to change things up here. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 26. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This is 1st and 10. All eyes on Fields. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. That's complete right side to Komet. And the Bears are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Here's 1st and goal. Here's Fields.
And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.